So, okay, sorry. Uh, I'm guessing that you've seen taps like this before. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. I was just giving my cat a treat. But with this tap, there's a couple things I want to cover with it, and this one is notable for a few things, including the condition that it's currently in. With this one is a wooden tap. You've probably seen taps like this before. Maybe not at a bar, but you most likely would have seen them on some sort of a TV show or some of that. These are ones that I feel were fairly common around the 70s. They may have been produced either a little bit before or after that, but a lot of times you'll see a style that looks like this in various movies and stuff like that. One of the things that's nice about it is that it's a fairly fairly kind of common universal style for a few of these beers. And because of the fact that it's not like tied to a specific time, so I believe that they were would have been produced probably around the 50s or 60s or something like that, but you probably would have seen them in a lot of bars following that. So that's one of the things that's interesting about tap handles is that a lot of times you'll have certain handles that are on tap for a particular beer and they'll stay on tap. That handle will be used for a long period afterwards. So sometimes they'll have replacement tap handles, but that doesn't mean that all of the bars would have necessarily gotten a new tap handle. So that's one of the things that's interesting about this style of tap handle is it's one that was fairly common and variations of it. And so that means that it would have been common for bars for a very long period of time, especially if they didn't update their taps to a newer design. And with this tap, there's a few things to note with it. First of all, it is a wooden tap handle. There's some tap handles that are going to be designed to look like wood, to look like they were turned tap handles. This one is just simply a wooden tap handle. And well, I should say a number of the styles like this are wooden and are turned tap handles. So turned means that they were turned on a lathe for when they were being produced. It is worth noting that there's a couple of tap handles that were released around the same time or possibly afterwards that are designed to look like they're wooden, but they're not. But this particular one is. You can see a number of things. First of all, just the overall grain. Also, if you tap on it, I know sometimes I'll cover the sound, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if that's a fully great sound to be able to tell, but it is a wooden tap handle. There's a few things with this. So you've got this center section here, so it's there as well as above. Typically for a style like this, you have the section down here that's produced, and then it's designed to fit into this top section, and then you've got a upper section at the top. So that way it's actually kind of like a three-piece tap handle if you're not counting the ferrule and other attachments. It's also worth noting that you have these inserts. These inserts would vary depending upon the beer. So you'd have the standard tap handle design, and then you'd have a different insert for different beers. These ones are a plastic, but I actually have this side one, you'll notice is kind of falling out here. So I will pop it out so you can see what it's like. So you'll see right there, and you can tell that it's plastic. If you hear the sound, you can tell a little bit by that. But also if you're actually looking at it, you can tell by the way that it was produced. One of the things that is notable about these tap handles that I wanted to call out is based upon the adhesive that they use, as well as just the age. A lot of times you'll notice that exactly what happened with this one is what's happening to them. So that means that you've got this adhesive that is just like no longer working properly. So it's just not holding that piece in place. You'll notice on the other side that it's actually missing that section right here, but this one is still holding on. And the reason why I point that out is that when you're actually getting these from other collectors, you want to check and make sure that you actually have all of the pieces for any edges. So that means with this one, I think I actually have the one for there, but you do always want to check and make sure that you have all of the appropriate ones that you need so that it is a complete tap handle with all of the labels. But you also want to keep in mind that these may fall off. And if they do fall off, then you just simply need to use a new adhesive to put them back into place. You'll notice here that that there is no like real adhesive there, so a lot of times you actually want to remove the previous adhesive carefully so that you can put new adhesive on there. You will notice on this tap handle that you do have a couple of elements with the turning process. So these little portions there, that portion there, and you'll notice a slight curvature in and a slight curvature out. Just good, solid, classic styling there. That's the end that is curved, kind of smoothed off, which is how it should be. And then down here, you've got the ferrule. You will notice that with these ones, sometimes people will have them in their collections for a long time, and they'll like not pay attention to the ferrule and stuff like that. And so if you do see it like, let's see if we can get that unscrewed. So this is it without the ferrule. So you do want to make sure that if you see it like this, where you just have that hanger bolt, then just keep in mind that you'll need to get a replacement ferrule. So if we're looking at that here, I'll actually show you a quick trick. So if you go like that, and if it doesn't stick, then that means that it's a smaller side on the inside and a larger side on the outside. The outside is going to be the 3/8/16, and on the inside it should be the 5/16, 5/16/18, I believe. But that is the threading for the hanger bolt. There is the 5/16 threading, and the outer threading on the ferrule is going to be the 3/8. And the 3/8 is going to be the standard one to put it on your tap faucet. If you actually want to use it, or if you have displays, most people will be using the 3/8 for their displays. Also the bottle openers I do. But there we have this one, just good classic vintage style. But you do want to be careful with these little logo items and make sure that you have those and that none of them are missing. This one, of course, is Miller High Life. Just a favorite among a lot of people. Just a good classic beer.